racetrack and what it allows for you to take advantage of. 2 mile in length, but the banking in the corners, not like at Daytona, pretty flat. Back on the front straightaway, you got 11 degrees, but I think the key to this racetrack is getting off of turn 2. And you see that back straightaway, when you roll off of turn 2, you lose a lot of banking. Car's going to get loose there, and the guys who can get it aimed, get back wide open and hold it off of turn 2, I think that's really big for them.
Hermie, we talk about this place being a momentum racetrack. What that tells me is that, particularly in qualifying, there's no margin for error. You can't afford to lose momentum at all.
You're exactly right, and I'm looking forward to seeing what some of these guys do as far as their lines on the racetrack. We saw Juan Pablo Montoya yesterday use a high line in 1 and 2 to keep that momentum going. He qualified outside pole. Let's see what some of these guys decide to do. Take a more momentum type of line or work the bottom the shortest way around.
And Hermie, already we're seeing James Busher in that number 1 car trying to get some heat in his tires, trying to feel like what the racetrack may be doing here. New tire for Goodyear here at this racetrack. So a lot of these kind of things are going to get proven out as we get ready to take the green here and get started as far as qualifying for today's race later on this afternoon.
And James Busher, he goes at number 1. Joey Logano, when you just talked to him, Joey Logano is going to want his crew chief to tell him what James Busher runs on the racetrack to give him an idea of what kind of condition this track is in.
You can believe one thing right now, his crew chief is either watching this on speed or on top of that transporter or doing both. Anything he can see to relate to his driver to let him know, hey, the car hooked up, it did this and did that. Once again, it'll help that mental attitude of a driver.
No question about it. If Joey Logano is able to hear James Busher picked up quite a bit from his practice yesterday, that'll put Joey Logano in a much better mindset when he leaves pit road.
James Busher, just 19 years old, had a great start to the season, finishing 8th at Daytona last week.
Yeah, but the one thing that you just mentioned there, 19 years old, maybe he doesn't know what he doesn't know. You know, he may get me in trouble as a veteran driver. Not to say Joey Logano's a veteran driver, but he does have some experience.
Looks like on lap 1, he picked up about 3.5 tenths of what he ran in practice, so that's a good sign.
That's a very good sign.
Remember, the top or first 30 drivers you will see today are all locked in by virtue of owner points.
And Steve, there's another interesting set of circumstances. Yeah, you want to start up front, but the key thing is you want to start up front with the car that you've got. You don't want to go out there when you know you're locked in, make a mental mistake, and have to go to a backup.
So be a little conservative.
Be smart.
He picked up on the 26.
Yeah, going back to Mike Bliss, remember he had a fuel pickup problem yesterday during practice, and then I'm thinking this thing figured out before the race today. Otherwise, it's going to be a very short afternoon for the 40 crew.
And Jeff, you might remind the folks as we watch Keselowski about the rules concerning actually not making his qualifying attempt.
Well, what that's going to mean right now, it's going to automatically move into the back of the field, and when they have to go to work on the car on top of everything else, I mean, but the key on all this has to be, they worked on it yesterday, Steve, but they didn't find out what the problem is. And I mean, that's got to be very disconcerting to the driver as well as the crew, thinking you got this thing, figured out, because they warmed the car up today, put it on line, expecting it to run. Now it doesn't.
But he is locked in the field. Him going off pit road and getting on the racetrack, as far as NASCAR, would qualify as an attempt to qualify. So he will get his spot.
Brian Keselowski, the older brother of Brad.
A good run at Daytona, Steve.
He did. He sure did. Finished ahead of his younger brother, finished 13th. Brian Keselowski with 35 NASCAR Nationwide Series starts. And just to be clear, Brian finished 11th. Brad finished 13th at Daytona. Didn't want to start in kind of a brothers fight, you know how that is.
That'll happen. That'll happen.
Fine. You actually were on the pole here in the fall before you got knocked off by Joey Logano and Kyle Busch earlier. How is that car going to be in qualifying today? Can you keep it up there?
Well, the Horizon Dodge has been really strong all weekend long, and hopefully we can get up there to the 3rd spot again. But right now we worked really hard yesterday on just race trim, and felt like the race trim was where we were going to really be strong. But great to have our teammate Brad Keselowski here in the 22 America's Tire Dodge as well. I mean, they had a really good car yesterday as well, so I'm excited. We actually get to go right next to each other, so I think we'll have 2 really good cars, and we're not putting a whole lot of faith in qualifying though. We're gonna work for the race.
All right, good luck to you. And that was Stephen Wallace walking by, picking up Justin's hat, having a little fun out here, Steve.
I think all the Wallaces are a little wacko this morning.
And you know what it is? Too much 5-hour energy.
Maybe.
Too early.
Of course, that's not different than any other day, is it?
No.
Robert Richardson Jr., Texas native. Hammond, I think I got in trouble at the end of last year. I said he played college football at SMU, and it was actually Baylor or vice versa. I can't remember. Whatever, you don't get it mixed up in the state of Texas.
You don't get anything mixed up in Texas. You know, if you're a Longhorn, you're a Longhorn.
That's
if you're
right.
an Aggie, you're an Aggie. You know, just don't try to mix them. You crossed over the line. It's called the Code of the West.
That's right. Following Richardson, we'll see Michael Annette, Joe Nemechek, and Colin Brown.
First lap was about what he ran in practice yesterday. We'll see if he can pick it up a little bit on lap 2.
And Dick, he was leading the race here in October, as we said, but had the flu and gave way after leading 36 laps to Denny Hamlin, his teammate.
And that's probably a pretty good indicator of how much grip this racetrack has lost. His teammate Joey Logano went in early, ran a 39.70. Kyle Busch runs a 40 flat. You know those guys have similar race cars to run similar laps, so you can figure this racetrack has definitely lost a couple tenths worth of speed.
Herbie, talking about Kyle Busch a couple times, we've referenced it, him getting out of the car in the fall race. How hard is it for a driver to know when you get inside that car that, man, I don't really want to be in it? Because you're that sick when you feel that bad. How hard is it even then to get out and give up your ride?
You've got to be just about feeling like you're on your deathbed and want to get out of a car. A driver is connected to his car. Like, you don't want somebody else getting in that race car.
No, that's yours.
Not only that, he led just about every lap he had run before he got out.
But he had his eyes at the time. He's trying to get in the chase and a lot of stuff going on. They had him focused on what he could do that next day, and so it was a tough decision for him. And you won't see that happen very often from any kind of driver, much less a competitor like Kyle Busch.
Scott Lagasse Jr. has one Auto Club Speedway start. Came a year ago. He finished 12th.
Whoa. Another D-Dido.
Little tail happy there also for Scott Lagasse.
Lap 2 there. Sorry, boys.
Don't apologize. You didn't hit nothing.
You can live to fight another day.
Exactly.
Series qualifying continues here at Auto Club Speedway. Steve Burns, Hermie Sadler, Jeff Hammond, Wendy Venturini, and Dick Bergman glad to be along with you as Tony Raines clocks in 22nd of 27 drivers.
Tony really found some speed over yesterday. He's been practicing in 43rd and 42nd position during those two practice sessions at about 43 seconds, and now he goes out and he qualifies at a 41.41 all the way up to 22nd.
Josh Wise in the 61 will be followed by John West Townley in the RCR Richard Childress Racing number 21, and then knockout qualifying starts. Dick Berggren.
With Carl Edwards up to his old tricks, being fast, finished second at Daytona, right now third on the board here, but let's get to what's really, really important. If you talked to Kate today, your wife, expecting the baby?
Yeah, I talked to Kate this morning, and she's at home with her friend Christy, and Christy's giving her all the support she needs, but she's doing well. I mean, there's nothing changing, which is good. But yeah, I'm happy to be up there. With this draw and the sun out. This Copart Fusion was pretty fast, and I'm proud to represent them. This is our first race together. They've got zillions of cars at Copart.com for sale, so anybody that needs a car, they're out there, and just looking forward to this race.
If they had some cars as fast as this one, that'd be the hot deal, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that'd be nice. They look this good, that's for sure. These are nice ones right here.
All right, thanks, Carl.
Josh Wise, 27 years old, out of Riverside, California. Me and Hammond have been there.
That's right.
The old racetrack, was it now a shopping center or a development?
Development, I believe. Kind of sad.
It's a good road, great road course.
Remember some of the legends that were over there?
Just remember seeing Earnhardt drive up through the dirt.
I've seen a lot of them do that, including Herschel McGriff.
Yep.
Think about it. Ray Elder.
Sumner McKnight. John Krebs.
Yep. Good times.
Josh Wise has got stratosphere on the hood of this car. That's a cool place to visit in Vegas too if you ever go there. Up that
how about next
top
week?
of the world restaurant.
That's too scary.
Oh, it's awesome. Make a loop all the way around.
No,
see
not the
whole
restaurant. They have that ride.
Oh yeah,
roller coaster.
I'd like to see you on that.
Don't tell me you've done that roller coaster.
I have done that.
No, you have not.
Hang you right off the side of the building. It's cool.
No way. Wendy.
Well,
You know, Jeff Hermie, I was just looking in the distance towards the San Bernardino Mountains. A lot of clouds over there. You think they'll sneak on over the racetrack for Jason?
Wait a minute. What mountains?
That's a transverse mountain range.
Oh, transverse. Okay.
Y'all are getting way over my head now.
That means it runs east to west.
Oh, I got you.
But the mountain peaks themselves are obscure.
There's 60 miles of them.
I know, but they're obscure because of the cloud cover.
We need to focus on Dennis Setzer. He's on the racetrack trying to get in the show.
Your buddy Dennis Setzer.
My buddy Dennis Setzer.
I looked that up just to impress him. Transverse mountain range.
Transverse.
You got too much time on your hands if you're looking up that kind of stuff.
Hey, Steve,
Focus.
Focus.
I am focused. That's why I looked it up. Setzer has 3 Nationwide Series starts here with the best finish of 8th.
He's got
97.
He's got a good lap going right now, guys.
18th overall for Dennis Setzer, the veteran out of Conover, North Carolina.
But more importantly, he is the fastest of the go homers right now.
Yes, he is.
The 7th quickest as far as that group yesterday.
And Hermie said it yesterday, and I think it bears repeating. Dennis Setzer, one of the nicest gentlemen in this entire sport.
Yeah, he's a first-class guy. Been around a long time. Always fun to race with and a great competitor.
Now, I'm a little bit surprised that he didn't run 2 laps. I expect most of the go homers to run 2 laps, and he didn't. But, I mean, his first lap.
What's the key for a good qualifying lap?
You know, this place is so big, Wendy. It's momentum. With the plates on the motors now, we don't have that much power. So it's like if you get off the throttle, don't stay off of it very long, and just try to keep that thing rolling through the center.
All right, well, good luck to Mark Green and his qualifying effort. Steve?
Thank you, Wendy. Danny O'Quinn Jr. aboard that number 90 DeHaan Humphrey Motorsports Chevrolet. 24 years old, out of Coburn, Virginia.
Always good to see some Virginia boys do good on the racetrack. Talk about Timothy Peters.
Yep.
What a big win for him at Daytona.
Huge win for that
Virginia
young man
as well. Yep. He's really been impressive.
He wins at the smallest racetrack his first race and goes to one of the biggest, wins the second race.
If you can adapt to different kind of racetracks like that, that's a sign of a really, really good race car driver.
He's got a ton of talent, I can tell you that. Wow. Danny O'Quinn has got his hands full. Danny O'Quinn came to fame when he did the driver gong show with Roush Fenway a few years ago. Drove for Roush.
28th overall. He's 4th fastest of the go-or-go-home drivers.
I think he wants to pick up a little bit more probably to feel really safe about getting in the field.
He is wrestling this son of a gun too, guys. I mean, it is not pretty, but he's not getting out of that throttle.
The problem is, Jeff, he would need to pick up, about 4 tenths to get up there in front of Borneman and Kligerman. So he's really got to.
Well, but the thing is, right, Hermie, you've seen it before. Sometimes it comes down to 1/1000th of a second, so you get everything you can, and that 1/1000th you're able to pick up may be huge. And he does find some speed.
Everybody on our AccuDoc Solutions Toyota, they did a great job yesterday. We got off to a bad start. We punched a hole in the radiator, lost all of first practice, and the guys just went to work second practice. We did a mock run yesterday, ended up P2. Didn't know how it translates to today, and a lot of the fast guys, they went early when it was cool, and just trying to do the balancing act. Of course, we have to qualify in. We don't have points for the Nationwide Series here, so we're just trying to make it in the first 5 races, and that's 2 for 2 so far. Made Daytona, made here, and I think we got a great Toyota Camry, and I'm excited for the race.
How about this right hand? What's going on there?
Well, the off season was supposed to be the time it was going to heal itself, and it unfortunately quit healing and it didn't heal. So it's still broken, and I got to figure out when I got to do surgery. It's either going to be after Vegas or I got to go through this year, like Denny Hamlin, with an injury, and wait till the next off season to get it done. But as you can see, it fortunately doesn't hurt driving. It's just a pain in the rear.
A pain in the hand at any rate.
Yeah.
All right,
Exactly.
good luck this afternoon. Thanks.
Dick Berger in the 91 car, driven by Stephen Light. He spent the last couple of years driving for Richard Childress Racing on a limited basis. Ran the entire season in 2007 for Yates Racing, finishing 7th in qualifying. Jeremy Clements hit the wall coming off turn 2. Shepard takes his number 89 onto the racetrack. Had a pretty good day, all things considered, at Daytona, finishing 22nd.
Yes, he did. And the thing is, right now, guys, he needs to find about a second over what he practiced at yesterday to get this number 89 car into the show.
Just amazing what he does regardless of his age. And not just driving the car, but working on it. I mean, he's the crew chief, the owner, the driver, the whole 9 yards. He really loves being at the racetrack, so you got to give him credit for sticking it out and showing up every week.
A couple of things to remember: that Joe Gibbs Racing has won the last 4 NASCAR Nationwide Series races here, and 5 of the last 6 races have been won from the front row. And who do we have on the front row for the time being? Joey Logano.
From Joe Gibbs Racing.
And Kyle Busch.
Also from Joe Gibbs Racing.
Check. You see how I just brought that all together?
You can really tie something together in a second, Burnsy.
Thank you, buddy. This would be Joey Logano's 8th career pole and his 43rd start.
Doesn't look like he's going to get it done on lap 1, Jeff. He's going to have to pick it up, really stand on it lap 2 to get in the field.
Nope, he's slower than Stephen Light, 39th overall, and Light has been bumped.
He got about half of what he needs here on that first lap. He's going to have to find some more. And again, the cloud cover is going to give him an opportunity, I think, to do that. You see that tracker is slowly but surely trying to edge toward that green mark. That would be what he's looking to do. That's where Danny Eflin in the 07 car is located at that 31st position. Slides back right there as he enters turn 3. Needs to gain some back, otherwise he'll need some help from his friends to be able to make this race today.
He picked up.
He picked up, but not quite enough. It locks Danny Eflin in.
Yep.
But and you talking about sweating bullets, guys. We're talking about Scott Riggs in the 09 car. He needs to be one of the final 2 guys, whether it's Johnny Chapman or Derek Cope, to be able to lock himself in. And again, we've already talked about Morgan Shepherd. He's got to have both these guys either make a mistake or not run fast enough so that he can race this afternoon.
Johnny Chapman's been around this series for a long time.
Actually, he's one of the drivers that ran in '93 in the Rookie of the Year program that I was a part of with Tim Fedewa and that whole group of drivers. We had a fun group.
Did you win the Rookie of the Year title that year?
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it was. I didn't think at the time it was a whole lot to it, but as things go by, you look back at those days and really appreciate things a lot more. But he was fun to race with. Still getting it done.
And Jimmy Hicks comes through one more time. He says there were 5 drivers that were here in October of 1997 that raced here in the first race. There were Johnny Chapman, Mark Green, Jason Keller, Kevin LePage, and your buddy, Dennis Setzer.
Jimmy Kyle Hicks taking care of business.
He gets the job done, I'm telling you. Ain't nothing slow about that man. Now, his partner in crime, we have to every now and then
Russell.
check on him.
He's got to pick it up, Jeff.
Yep, first lap. Good enough for 40th quickest, but he's going to have to find another, really, about 0.5 of a second if he wants to make this race.
It's a tall order.
Well, I'll take that back. He needs to figure about 0.3 of a second to get him locked in.
Tall order. Those drivers bumped Danny O'Quinn Jr., Stephen Light, Andy Ponstein, and Jeremy Clements. Chapman does not pick up. That locks Scott Riggs into the show. Riggs can take a deep breath now.
Got 1 to go. Cope. It's either going to be Derek Cope or Morgan Shepherd filling out the field. Derek was 30th fastest in the final practice, so same thing we talked about before. If he can just bag up what he did in practice, Derek Cope's car has the speed to get him in the show. He just needs to bag it up.
So anxious moments for the veteran Morgan Shepherd. As Hermie said, Derek Cope, the last driver to qualify for this afternoon's race.
Former winner of the Daytona 500.
I remember Derek winning what was then the Busch Series race in New Hampshire.
Yep.
I remember that too, Steve. Thanks for bringing that up. I had a
Why does he always do that to you?
3/4 of a lap lead and ran out of gas with about 3 laps to go.
Why does he always do that to you?
Because he's my friend.
Can always count on little Stevie
That's
boy.
right. I'm here for you.
Guys, right now that tracker is looking very favorable for Derek Cope. He just kind of hold
plenty of
right
speed,
there.
yeah.
All he has to do is just bring it home. Losing back a little bit. That's not the direction you want to go in there,
Come
Derek.
on, Derek. Get her up there. And he makes it
He's
in.
in.
Bad news for Morgan Shepherd, though. As Hermie said, Morgan's here to race. Does much of it by himself. But Derek Cope is locked in. And Joey Logano captures the pole position. Derek Cope's going to complete his second lap, but it's academic. He's in the show.
Yeah, I'm scratching my head on this one here,
Yeah.
Steve.
So your front row, it's all Joe Gibbs Racing, Joey Logano, and Kyle Busch.